You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today I'm outside in the bright sunshine and I want to do this devotional about wheat and tares. Now I think I'm near a bean patch, a bean field. Actually, it's not wheat, but we can pretend, right? And there's really not necessarily tares, but if you see above my head, I don't know if I can zoom in or not, but if you see above my head, I can't really zoom in on this right now, you'll see some corn that's growing among the beans. It's not supposed to be there. So we'll just pretend this is wheat and tares because that's what I'm calling this devotional today. What does the Bible have to say about wheat and tares? Even though it's beans and corn. But what does the Bible have to say about wheat and tares? It's found in the book of Matthew chapter 13, starting in verse 24, all the way through verse 30. Another parable put he, meaning Jesus, forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whither then hath it tares? He said unto them, now listen to this part, an enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye also root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Matthew 13, that last verse is verse 30. Why would I read that today? Because when I see this field, even though it's beans and corn, it reminds me of the parable found in Matthew 13 of wheat and tares. The world's like that. We as Christians are a light in darkness. We're like the wheat, and the unsaved are like the tares. They grow together. Can you see them growing together? I don't know if you can see what represents tares is the corn in this bean field, and it's those corn stalks aren't supposed to be there. No, they're not. But the tares are growing among the wheat in this parable in Matthew chapter 13. Jesus says, just let them grow together. But what he's saying is when it's time to harvest, that represents when Jesus comes back again someday. The time of harvest, he says in verse 30, I will say to the reapers, and those represent the angels, gather ye together first the tares, that's the unsaved, and bind them in bundles to burn them, that represents hell. But gather the wheat, that represents us as Christians, into my barn, and that represents the place called heaven. Are you ready to meet him? We are Christians representing that wheat among the tares, representing the unsaved in this world. We need to tell them about Jesus. We need to tell them about Jesus. I hope this gives you some illustration today. I'll turn this around and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. Well, hold on. So I'm trying to zoom in. Do you see some of the corn stalk? Do you see some of it? Yeah. See it way out there in the distance? It's growing among the beans. It's not supposed to do that. But in God's word, he says, let the wheat and tares grow together. That's how much he cares for the lost, because he wants them to hear the gospel also. Will you be that one to tell the unsaved about Jesus? The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. You've been watching Moments with Jill Walker on this bright, sunny day. God bless you.